Good morning, everybody. We are still in Matthew 5. We're talking about the Beatitudes. Final Beatitude is kind of a combination of two. It talks about blessed are the persecuted, and it tells us that the benefit of that being persecuted, we have a beautiful place called heaven where we will receive the reward for those who have seen through and persevered despite the persecution. I want to continue today talking about this from a point of view, say, what do we do when we get persecuted? How should we respond? Now, there's a couple of options to being persecuted as to what to do. The first one is just to head for the hills. Let's avoid it. Let's run away from it. Let's get out of it. Let's hide somewhere, and let's get away from the persecution. I kind of think back into the Middle Ages where people suffered persecution. And so they did literally head for the hills. They built monasteries for themselves to protect themselves, not just from persecution, but from the world at the same time. And I know as tempting as that may be to head for the comfort of those who are around us and to find people of commonality. And I guess might be some element of need for that from time to time. But I also find people that we need to understand that we are the salt of the earth. We are the light of the world. And if the light heads for the hills, who's going to see us in the darkness? If all the lights are sitting on the top of the hill away from the darkness, and if all the salt is out there, who's going to savor the world around us? Who's going to make this world a better place because we're able to present the gospel to people? If we're all sitting up in the hill somewhere, just trying to hide from the world and hide from potential persecution, where on earth is the gospel going to be presented to the people from? And the urge for us is to hang in there. Hang in there. The courageous aspect of this thing is to say, man, they could persecute me till they're blue in the face, but I'm not going anywhere. I am the light of the world. Jesus has passed his light on to me. And as much as we may be looking and saying, man, I've got a family to protect and I've got to look after myself and I've got to do things, you've got to do what you want to do. But at the same time, you've got to consider people. This is a tough message to some people. You've got to consider the gospel has still got to be spread. And as much as you can say, well, I'll go and spread it somewhere where it's more comfortable, I don't know. You got to make a couple of choices over here. But the big choice is not to run, to stay and to face the persecution, to stay and face the challenges that we know are going to come. Wherever you go, you're going to find different challenges. You're going to find other challenges. I think sometimes worse than the persecution that we may suffer even at the hands of those who don't understand. I guess it's a factor we're going to choose our poison, but I would rather stay. I'd rather stay. I'm committed to staying in this thing. And if persecution comes, then, hey, we'll do what we have to do. But staying is the greatest option. Not just because you want to be a hero. That's not what it is about. That's not the case at all. But who's going to spread the good news if we all head for the hills? Who's going to spread the good news if we all get into some little monastery somewhere and protect ourselves, or try to? I'm not sure that this is a popular message for some people, but that's kind of how I feel about it. But I hope, guys, that we will be able to face persecution, not run from it, stand in the face of it, and you will be better for it, and the gospel will continue to be proclaimed through your life. If you're not proclaiming the gospel through your life and through your lifestyle, even more so, then maybe the hills is a comfortable option. Then you need to take that. But my challenge today comes from looking at the martyrs of old and saying, what kept these guys focused? I guess it was because they believed in a place called heaven. They believed in the purpose of God for their lives. And I guess they want to all stand before God one day, and for him to be able to say, hey, well done, did a good job, despite the circumstances, despite the persecution at work and at university, at school. Don't run, people, don't run. It's great to be able to stand in the face of it and continue to declare Jesus is Lord. I hope that works for you. Cheers, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.